Good morning. Good morning, all. Had to let Zoom finish its sentence and saying your video is being recorded. So good morning, all, and welcome to Sunday. As you can see, I have my Holy Sunday shirt on as it's Sunday and I do recline and lay back. This is one of my days of rest. I'm off on Wednesdays and Sundays. So I'm just kind of chilling today and just wanted to throw you some information your way. And first of all, I want to thank all of those who have subscribed to my channel. Thank you so much. And I hope you enjoy the journey that we're on and just seeking truth, understanding mysteries, and going beyond dogma. That's the three things that I really want to do. And today I want to talk about an interview that I heard Friday night between Jeffrey Daughtry, the Christian whistleblower, and John Lash Lamb. Or John Lamb Lash. I'm like Jeffrey, I messed the name up. I'm sorry. But it was a great interview they were doing on the Holy Grail. And we know that the Holy Grail has many different understandings, different opinions, and different novelties from Dan Brown's book, from the Spear of Destiny that's been thrown out that, Hitler was searching for. And all of these are great TV shows and great mysteries, but probably not true. They were mostly influenced by a lot of Christianity, of Jesus and stuff like that. But we believe the grail or whatever goes back much further. And actually, you can almost say that maybe some Christianity counterfeited what the real meaning of the grail was. And as you're fixing to hear, I'm fixing to play some segments of this interview to really clarify what I'm trying to say here. And if you don't know John, he wrote the book Not in His Image. He is one of the leading scholars today on Gnosticism or spiritual schools or secret schools and stuff like that. And the first thing that you have to understand is everybody defines Gnosticism wrong. Everybody has heard along the way, oh, it's this, it's the creation of dualism. It is the understanding of just knowledge and not applying it to your life. And all of these things that are a bit true, but they're not true. We know for a fact that in the study of most Gnostics, they did change in their study and pursuit of knowledge. They changed in their understanding. They continually changed their worldviews, and they changed along the way. So it wasn't just a situation that you're just studying all the time. There was spirituality that was in there that helped them change their way. And then the whole thing about dualism and stuff. Yeah, there are some, Gnostic schools, especially after Christianity, that came along, creating the whole dualism. But even in Kabbalistic, you understand that in the upper part of the tree, there is one. But when you start going down, there is a dualist effect of positive and negative and evil and good. No, there's not an ultimate battle, but that is implied there. So we really have to define what Gnosticism is and what it isn't. And really, we don't have a good understanding of Gnosticism today. We know many secret schools in the past. We know many societies, that came along that had their own understanding of what this was. But, it really comes down to Gnostic, which is study and spirituality. Thank you, David Minshul, of changing and understanding and realigning their understanding of what goes on. So, with no more going with that, I want to talk about the Holy Grail and what it is and how each one of us in our lives are really in search of the Holy Grail and we don't even understand it. So without any more, and this is always fun if you watch my page because it seems like it's always a battle here to do what I'm trying to do here. Let's see if I can make this bigger here. Oh, play on full screen. Okay. All right, here we go, full screen. And let me share. Yes, I want to share sound and okay. Share. And here we go.
Admit that there is no surviving record of what the initiates actually did in the innermost sanctum of their mystery schools. They kept it a secret. So how could anyone later, centuries later, know what they actually did, you say? Mm-hmm. The only way that you can know what the central illumination experience of the mysteries was, given there's no surviving evidence, is if you have that experience now.
Yes. Yes.
That's the evidence.
Isn't it interesting that the core truths can only be learned by personal experience? There's no hand-me-down revelation in true enlightenment.
Yeah, that's the enduring standard of all truth, isn't it?
It really is. And that's just been lost. I mean, no one ever says that. You never hear that. It's just amazing. It's amazing. Thank you,
Well,
John.
one thing that religious indoctrination does, and you know this as well as anybody that I've ever met, it does what R.D. Laing. R.D. Laing was a renegade psychologist of the 60s and 70s. He was actually a close friend of my friend, Francis Huxley, who was the nephew of Aldous Huxley. And when I met Francis in Santa Fe, we became good friends and had many conversations. And he told me about his friend, R.D. Liang. And then I went and read some of his books. And in one of his books, Lang warned against something that can happen to people. He said that they can be indoctrinated by religion, politics, education, the media in such a way that it destroys their own capacity to have their own experience. This is a hell of a warning. And actually, that is what religious indoctrination does. Basically, it says to people, believe this, believe that, do this, do that. Take the word that comes from on high, passed down to us through bearded men, but do not yourself go in search of those core experiences, you see?
You know, John, it's almost like they try to teach us, and it's become a meme throughout our society. Seeing is believing, when actually experiencing is believing.
Experience is the only basis for knowing anything or believing anything.
Absolutely.
Authentically. So,
And
point
the
is,
Deists kind of taught us that too. Revelation is, if it's in a book, if it comes from another person, it's secondhand and it's not true, genuine revelation to you. We should seek and find our own realization, our own experiences. I'm again awed by the tremendous depths of the truth that you bring to us, and you make it so simple and comprehensive or comprehensible that we're like, how do we miss it?
well, I certainly seek to make it direct, and I can take it even further in this conversation by saying that the revelation experienced in the inner sanctum of the mysteries was the encounter with the organic light, which exists today, is an experience to be found and undergone today as it was then.
Hold on one. Okay. Hold on. Let me shut this down here. I'm sorry. It's still playing in the background. Let me see. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. How do I get my? There we go. There we go. Thank God. Okay. Sorry about that. But we hear what he's talking about there, and he's talking about the illuminated light. And to break that down, illuminated light is truth. It is that we're all seeking for. You know, I'm sitting here looking now at my wall, and I have my conversion right there to Reformed Judaism. And over here, I have my certificate to Orthodox Judaism. And here I have an old one that I actually did when I made my Noahide creed to a court of rabbis. So, and even in Christianity, my Jerry Falwell classes that I took back in the 80s and all of these things from Assembly of God and everything, I've always been led by men. You know, if you go join any school of Judaism, basically, they're going to tell you you need to at least 1 year of life cycle. You need to go through each of the festivals. You need to learn the Halakha. You need to learn this. And then maybe 1 year to 3 years, you know, you will be converted. The other Judaisms may not be as much, but that is the general standard. In Christianity, if you go to a church, most churches want you to go through at least 6-week course that you'll go through, and then a couple of weeks later they will let you into the church. And then some, you'll wait before you get assigned any offices or deacons or anything like that. Some will let you go straight in. So we see the process that we have here, especially in the West, is always an indoctrination. It's always come join my school or my philosophy, and then after a while you will be accepted. Well, the problem with the truth or the illuminated light that we are seeking, and he goes on in this interview, and I highly recommend this interview. If you go to Jeffrey Daughtry, the Christian whistleblower, on YouTube, it's Resistance Radio on YouTube. I'm sorry, he had his other channel taken down, Resistance Radio. And there you'll find the interview that they did Friday night with John Lash Lamb and him, John Lamb Lash. Anyway, I'll get that in a second. So we see that going on. So that interview is fabulous. But he tells a story about an ancient story about a knight who was in search for the light, who was in search for the truth. And there was prophecy about this knight, and there were several of them. But the first rule was he had to seek the light. He had to find it on his own, basically. And his journey started. And he actually found the castle that contained the light by accident. He just stumbled upon it. And the second rule was once he entered the castle and he, told him what he was doing, that the other initiates could not help him. They could not give him hints. They could not try to push him towards the light. They couldn't do anything but just watch and listen as the man approached the light. And in this story that he's telling, this knight finds this place, and they ask, what are you doing here? He goes, well, I'm here to seek the light. And of course, they bring him into the chambers, and he's there, and the initiates can't help him. They can't coach him to say the right things or do the right things, which is totally different from today's knowledge. And the third rule of finding the light is you have to ask, what is the light? You have to actually ask to receive. And the knight went in before him and everything, and he got the first two. He was there, and no one helped him, but he didn't ask the question. And when he didn't ask the question, they basically, said, you're not ready, you've got to leave. And then later on, the story goes that he came back in search of the light again, but this time he asked the question that needed to be asked, and basically, what is the light? Or can I have the light? Or whatever the question would be. And that's the same way today in our spiritual journey, or our journeys that we're on in life, is so many times we are looking for help. We are looking for someone to show us the truth, show us the light. We are looking for someone, once we find or we approach truth, to teach us, initiate us, to help us, to prepare for the light. And then when we get to the light, we never ask the question. We just stay in that outside of it, and we never experience what the light is. And that is the whole point of our journey, is to experience the light. For some of you, it may be consciousness. It may be the consciousness of understanding, or the spirit, the Christ spirit, or the Mashiach, or the divinity that's within you. Whatever you want to call the light, it doesn't matter. It's all one anyway. So in your journey that you're on today, stop looking for help. Stop. I mean, there's nothing wrong with reading and watching videos, but don't get clogged up within it. Go within inside and seek the light, and don't look for others to help you. I mean, like I said, there's nothing wrong with advice, but when the initiates were not able to help coach him to ask the question, I'm sure they can help him in other ways, but they could not tell him the main point was to ask what or where or what is the light. And that's what you've got to ask today within your soul. What is truth? What is it? Stop depending upon this and that and the others. I mean, I can tell you from personal experience, I've been a ping pong table going back and forth, watching YouTube videos, trying to find the light, trying to find the truth. And I'm still on the journey, but I'm asking the question now, what is the light? What is it? And when you ask that question, things start happening. As they said in the video, the revelation is experience. It's not knowledge, it's experiencing it. You can study all day long and seek all the knowledge you want, but you step out and you start experiencing it. I told a story the other night in class, as I think on the subject of in the Gospels. The storms were on the waters. It was storming, lightning, waves, and they were crying for help because they were scared in the boat. And they cried out to Jesus, and Jesus appeared on the water walking. And Peter said, they thought it was a ghost or something. And Peter said, Lord, if this is you, let me come with you and walk on the water. Jesus said, come. He asked what the light was. He asked, if it's the truth, let me walk on the water. Peter walks on the water, man, he's walking on the water. But as soon as he took his eyes off the light, as soon as he took the lights off his Christ consciousness, as long as he took his eyes off and started looking at situations around him, he started sinking. And we'll do this daily. It's why it's important for meditation and quietness and self-reflection, because we can do this trait all the time. So I hope this video makes sense. Stop seeking from those around you. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with videos and reading, but you alone can experience the light. Nobody can take you to the light and to the ultimate truth. You have to find it on your own. I hope your journey goes well. I hope this is an encouragement, not a discouragement, because the truth, the kingdom of God, the temple, the residence, the DNA, the Christ consciousness, the Mashiach consciousness, the divine spark is all within you. So I hope you have a good day, good Sunday as you see my holy, and have a great day. Thank you so much.